Doom: The Dark Ages is the new great installment of the legendary FPS series. The game is being developed by the Studio ID Software, a Bethesda studio that now belongs to Xbox, and despite it's now an Xbox studio, the game is also coming out to PS5, and also to Microsoft Windows and Xbox Series X and S, and is coming day one to Xbox Game Pass, and the best it's not so far. It's coming out in May 15th of 2025, and I'm looking forward to finally have the chance to play it.
Engines online.
In this level, you will meet the enemy at the gates and save a city from certain destruction. Explore the medieval battlefield outside the castle walls, seeking out targets and enemy formations along the way to engage with as you see fit, with any gun you choose. Explore what is the largest play space ever in a Doom game, discovering secret caves and dungeon-like mines in search of vital resources. You control the pace of the game. Where you go, who you fight, and the objectives you pursue. It's a Doom sandbox full of war and riches.
I'm a true fan of Doom. I played all the main games of the series, and also some other ones, and Doom: The Dark Ages is going to be set in the same style of Doom 2016 and Eternal, with the same style of gameplay, graphics, and physics, but this time it's not a sequel, but a prequel. It'll be set before of Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal, and even if you never played any game of the series before, the developers said it's going to be a good game to start playing from. In this game we won't have some mechanics of Doom Eternal, but we'll have some new mechanics too, what's always interesting.
The balance of power between good and evil is shifting, and time is running out. It's a new story and the perfect entry point for new players. It's easier to access now as we've taken the narrative out of the codex and into the cutscenes, featuring new characters, old allies, and powerful new villains. And for returning players, it leads directly into the Doom 2016 Slayer's Testaments. It's an action story worthy of the Slayer's legend.
The game will be set in a medieval era, with some classic enemies and guns, but of course, new ones too. Some enemies got a different outfit now, with armors, and even new attacks, but Doom Slayer won't be the same too. Now we won't have the speed with the dash of Doom Eternal, but we'll have some new really cool mechanics, like the new guns. That Skull Crusher one looks really sick, and the best of all, the spinning shield, that you can defend yourself, parry some enemies' attacks, saw enemies, or even use it to traverse in the stages. Beyond that, we'll have a new melee weapon, a sort of Morning Star mixed with a flail, and we'll also have the possibility to control a sort of flying dragon with a fluid and fast gameplay that looks insane, and not just that, also a huge and relentless robot that resembles the classic Megazord, and will be able to fight in melee or with huge guns, big evil fiends.
You know, we want every Doom game to stand on its own, as a unique experience. So in 2016, we asked you to run and gun. In Doom Eternal, it was jump and shoot. And in Doom: The Dark Ages, you're gonna stand and fight. That makes strafing to aim viable again, just like in the classic Doom games. But it's not all about nostalgia. Innovation is the goal, always. And so for Doom: The Dark Ages, it's an all-new world with new tools and new mechanics to master. Let me introduce you to the Shield Saw. Block. Throw. Parry. Deflect. All from one input. It's contextual, tons of depth on a single button press. And the Shield Saw will give you the strength to go head-to-head with some of the biggest, baddest demons we've ever created it in. But that's not all. Because if you're gonna stand and fight, then you gotta have something to follow up that opening parry with. How about an iron flail? Or maybe an electrified gauntlet? Or even a Doom spiked mace? That's right, we have 3 melee options that are part of a melee system. All on one input, complete with combos and upgrades. And it's totally awesome. And you can finish off the demons now with an all-new, unsynced, completely in the player's control glory kill system. From any angle, in and out, as you see fit. And it feels amazing. You'll feel unstoppable smashing your way through the horde with total freedom. And that seems like a ton, but that's just 2 inputs. We got one more really important button that we haven't talked about yet. The trigger. That's right, we've saved the best for last. Doom has and always will be all about the guns, and Dark Ages has some of the most ridiculously powerful weapons that we've ever created. Mean, ancient, brutal torture machines built to butcher, impale, and shred the minions of hell with. Only in Doom. That's the mission statement for the design of these never-before-seen, insanely fun-to-use tools of mayhem that only the Slayer has the power to wield. So let's take a look at some extended gameplay footage and see how these medieval mechanics synergize with the enemies and the environments to form the new combat loop for Doom: The Dark Ages.
As the developers said, in Doom Eternal Doomslayer was a warplane, fast and brutal, and in Doom: The Dark Ages Doomslayer will be a war tank, slower, but more brutal than ever, and my opinion about the game, based on everything we've seen so far is, the game looks as beautiful, or even more beautiful than Doom Eternal. It also looks extremely fluid and brutal, something that I really like in Doom series.
30-story Atlan, which is a mech. It's the size of a building, it's powerful, and you can beat giant Titan-sized demons to death with your gauntleted fists. And if that wasn't enough, we also have for you your very own fire-breathing, Gatling gun-toting cybernetic dragon. Neither of these are one-and-done features either. They have a full suite of abilities and even mini-bosses. The spectacle is epic. The Power Fantasy is unlike anything we've made it in. And the combat systems behind these features are deep and tons of fun.
And basically all the new things like the shield, the flail, robot, dragon, weapons and enemies looks really insane. And also something that I didn't mention, the game will have more cutscenes and dialogues, with a better storytelling according to the devs. In Doom Eternal and 2016 we could see a bit of story, but the biggest part was written in pages and things that we could find in the stages, so I'm curious to see how it's going to be now. And also the stages will be more open, with even more exploration and side things to do. Some people believe it's going to be in the same style of Xbox's Indiana Jones. That's really good too. So that's something that I want to see how is really going to be in this game. And just remembering, Doom: The Dark Ages is the next great game from ID Software, a legendary studio. It's coming out in May 15, 2025, to Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, and Microsoft Windows, and is a game that I'm really excited about. But that's the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Click on a like if you did, and don't forget to leave your opinion about the game in the comments. I really appreciate your presence here. And that's it. So long.